The sanitary kit that we produce it normally includes 4 reusable pads and 2 underwears. And this is like the minimum that a girl would need, at least to wash and dry. Of course, the 2 underwears is basically if one is washed and the other is available. So this is what the minimum packaging we require. But again, this is not for every buyers, but at least this is what we suggest that a girl would need at a minimum. How the Mariam Sabah pads works is quite simple. On the back, it has a waterproof material. On the top is 100% woven cotton, and also the inserts that absorbs the blood. Of course, it's also cotton, and it's about 8 layers. So it's super absorbent. It could last about 4 hours of absorbency rate at a normal flow. And there is a button that could secure into the underwear. And a woman could just freely walk and talk and do her daily chores without worry. So there's no difference as far as using our pads versus a disposable pads. Of course, the major differences is the cost, and of course the environmental friendly product that can last 18 months to up to 24 months. So this is why it's so effective. It's an effective product that just does the job well, if not more than the disposable, in my opinion. And anyway, and the cost is very minimal, and it's about in Ethiopian market, it's about 80% less than an average disposable pads that would cost them. So it's a win-win for a girl who never had pads before. This is a life-changing opportunity for her. She got the underwears that she could just wear throughout the life of the pads or longer. And of course, the pads are sufficient because there are 4 of them. They can wash it and reuse it and live comfortably. And the thing is, the one thing we encourage girls to do is also before and after use. Of course, it just buttons it up without worrying of leakage or whatever. So because of the waterproof material that would just cover the blood, and then take it home and wash it. And it's easy to wash, easy to clean, easy to dry. And then the next time they want to use it, it's already readily available. They can just keep it in their pocket or backpacks or whatever, and then it's readily available. So their worry is just done. The pads are got cleaned by soaking them in water, in cold water for about an hour. And then, of course, once they're soaked, the blood just comes out, and then you repeat it 2 or 3 times to make sure that all the blood is out. Once the blood is out, then they could use some kind of detergent, either soap or some powder soap, and non-bleach, of course, and it just make sure that all the blood is out, and then they cleanse it and rinse it with water, and then of course they dry it in the sun for quite a long time, which we have quite a bit of sun in here in Ethiopia, so that's not an issue. So once that's dried, it's basically folded with a waterproof side on the top, and it's just circularly buttoned, and then they could reuse it again. So it's very important that it's gotta clean properly and dry properly, and also just fold it inside out. So that's how we keep the life of the pads also, as long as we say it would take about 18 months to about 2 years. The reason I started the reusable pads rather than the cups or tampons is, first of all, it's not culturally accepted in our country. Rather than so the one thing I have to consider is the culture into consideration. So the reusable pads is the only option that I can think of to do the work that I wanted to do to get without being influenced or maybe not accepted by the culture. So reusable pad is the way to go. Again, why not disposable is because of the environmental impact and the cost and also the affordability issue. So that's the reason I've chosen the reusable pads. The reason we put the minimum quantity of 4 pads is because of affordability issue. Otherwise, of course, there are people who would need, especially with the heavy flow, they might need another package. So that is something that it is available for them. However, as far as dignity period concerns, of course, they have to reach to so many people, and that cannot be providing 2 packs of these pads. However, yes, there will be some requests, but it's quite rare. But at least at a minimum, however, those are sufficient for the user to make sure that they're living comfortably with dealing with their periods. So otherwise, yes, for the heavy flows, yes, there are people who are requesting we would require more. We're getting feedbacks from our users all the time, and those feedbacks are mainly positive. The positive things about that is that they were able to use it for extended period of time without worry. And the other thing is they are very comfortable, easy to wash, and also dry easily, of course. But when they compare it sometimes with disposable, sometimes the access of water might be a big issue for them. Sometimes they wish that there was disposable pads. However, with the environmental impact of it is, however, it's just so positive. They're just comfortable, much more comfortable and absorbent than the disposable pads. During our visits to different schools, there are schools that have been taught on how to make pads. However, those pads are not, done the way they should. For one reason, they have no sewing machines, or they may not have the proper materials to do the work, and it's just cumbersome compared to what our product would cost versus making it. I think it would be wonderful if you cannot afford it and try to make your own pad. It's just great. However, I think when it's done in a factory level, it's a lot easier and a lot beneficial to the girls to use them properly because they are properly made. We bring values to the local community is by providing jobs to the girls who never had jobs. We train them. We provide them skills, and also we make them proud of what they're making. Is not only that they're benefiting out of the product, but they're also resolving the problem, the main issue of their community as well. So because it's going to their sisters and mothers and what have you, so they take pride of that. And so the other thing also, we provide our girls here, the workers here in our factory, is daycare center, and that's a free daycare center because the reason being that is if we really make sure that we keep them, happy and also worry-free of their children that they bring to this world, making sure that they have a daycare center in site and feeding their babies. And that to me was like, just by providing them, we're even making them more productive, and also making them contribute to their household economy, which means really we're helping the household economy as well. So the benefits we provide to the community is endless. So not only that we're tackling the main issue of providing sanitary pads to the poor, but we're also contributing to the local economy, and as well as giving them and a comfortable environment to work for a woman without worrying of their children or whatever. In fact, we're becoming a pioneer of this field, and Ethiopian government is putting in place that for all factories that are coming to do this kind of business, to provide daycare center to the workers. So this is a tremendous change. We're actually a model for the country to how we treat our employees, and also how we providing to help the community at large. Dignity Period was able to prove that the attendance of doing about 8,000 students. They did an attendance pre-intervention and after intervention, and of course the attendance was a lot lower, which is about 24%. The attendance of the girls were improved after the intervention, while the attendance of the boys stayed the same. So that truly shows you that how much it's impacting on the attendance and ultimately on the performance and dropping out rate of the girls students. So this is so important for girls to stay in school and get focused and just do as good as boys and becoming what they want to be in the future. And we have seen that. And this is already proven that it's actually making this much a difference in girls' life. So that's why we continue Dignity Periods to work hard and change the lives of the girls.